Urban corals in the Port of Miami might hold the clues to the persistence and recovery of Florida's coral reef. Earlier this morning, Dr. Ashley Rossin showed us that urban corals in Miami are likely reproducing, and we can use population genetics approaches to understand how urban corals might be contributing to reef coral populations through time. We've done this with 6 primary reef-building species across Southeast Florida, but I only have time to go into one species in the Miami region. First thing we do is look for patterns of genetic structure, which can tell us whether there are ancestral lineages present in these populations. Indeed, we find evidence of 3 lineages here. One, a primarily reef-associated lineage shown in blue, and 2 primarily urban-associated lineages shown in orange and purple. Next, we can look at the fixation index or proportional FST that tells us the genetic differentiation among these lineages. I want to point out that the purple lineage is almost completely genetically differentiated at 70% or more differentiation. This could be indicative of long-term genetic isolation or perhaps even cryptic speciation with this lineage. Comparing our orange urban lineage to our reef blue lineage, we see lower levels of genetic differentiation at about 12%, which indicates limited gene flow that might be occurring. We can also look within each lineage to learn more about the genetic diversity. Heterozygosity, which is a measure of adaptive potential, is significantly higher in our urban orange lineage. But on the other hand, inbreeding, which is an estimate of relatedness of individuals that are breeding with one another, is significantly elevated in both urban-associated lineages. For our orange lineage, this is the equivalent of reproducing with siblings or close family relatives, and in our purple lineage, this is extreme inbreeding that is indicative of multiple generations of inbreeding. And then finally, we can look at these patterns of genetic differentiation across spatial scales. And we find no significant relationship with geographic distance between colonies, which tells us that there are other local factors influencing genetic differentiation, such as hydrodynamics or the mismatch of spawning timing, as Dr. Rossin mentioned earlier. And so can urban corals single-handedly save Florida's coral reef? Probably not. But through human mediation, such as land-based sexual reproduction and assisted gene flow, we can increase the genetic diversity of our restoration stocks and increase the adaptive potential to promote the recovery of Florida's coral reef. If you want to know more about this, please reach out. My name is Michael Studivan, and I'm happy to not take questions. Thank you.